the recording, maybe come back to it at another moment, and you might get more from it in that way. So it's a translation of a telepathic wave of energy that comes through. And it first comes to me, but the telepathic stream of energy will also come to everybody in the group. And in the past, it was a lot about these beings coming to us and giving us these initial messages to wake up and to become aware of the light that's coming to the planet. And in these times, the beings that present themselves are having a particularly strong agenda towards initiating our own contact with them, and realizing that we all have the same capability of bringing forth the streams of energy that they offer and using it in different ways. So what happens when I channel is a translation of this telepathic stream of energy that comes. And you can ask them any questions about themselves as beings, about the extraterrestrial activities happening on the planet now, and also about your own life and your own vibration. And as you ask these questions, just play with them in a sense, and allow yourself to be open to, sometimes they'll ask questions in return, if it's a personal question, to help you find that place of interconnectedness and knowing. And they also have some other knowledge and stories about some of the things that are going on the planet. So I have no idea what will come through in this, and I'm first of all very, very grateful to be able to share this with you, and that you've all come and opened yourselves, and yeah, just allow your heart and your mind to be open to whatever comes through.
Do you remember this?
For me, it's a little bit like a dream. So immediately afterwards, I have the most clear memory of what happened. I'm conscious during the whole thing, but it's kind of a different state of frequency. So I'm conscious, but what's happening is happening automatically. And afterwards, I remember a little bit in the moments directly afterwards, and the next day, I remember what's relevant for me and what really struck me while I was coming through, and how I can use that in my own life, but I don't remember all of it.
It's good that we're recording it.
Yeah.
How do you feel about interruptions?
Interruptions?
Well, we are known to have people come in late.
That's fine. Yeah.
We could lock that door and force them to come down.
Well, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, maybe we should.
It won't distract me in any case usually.
That might.
Silencing your cell phones is ideal. The less distractions, the better, though it's not that real of a concern. I've kind of channeled in much more noisy settings.
Question. Will you give us an indication at what point we can ask our own personal questions?
They will.
They will, okay.
Yeah, I don't know how long their introduction will be or what they will say specifically.
So one question apiece is considered appropriate?
If everybody has something they'd like to ask, then most definitely.
Okay, just wanted to know.
Don't feel free to just jump in and interact with them as if you'd interact with another person.
Sorry, Dante, but I lost that now. I don't think I don't have enough spaces, so.
Oh, okay. Well, other people are reporting.
Or do you think we should put a sign on the door that they should come up the other way?
That's a good idea.
Well, I think they would have enough sense to know that this door is locked and try the other one.
I don't know.
Put a sign on the door.
Well,
Put a sign on the door. Do you have tape?
here, Earlene, see, we can make, we don't have to take your Google.
Front, door. Do we got a piece of tape?
Mine comes up under.
Should I go to the office and get tape?
Yeah, there's always that. Judy, you wanna put it on the chair?
Probably.
Mine looks exactly like yours.
Oh,
So,
we have to know who is which.
yes.
Because all my secrets are on
Most of, if not all of the Pleiadians could, I know there are good and.
The Pleiadians are all love-based. They're from an enlightened civilization, so there aren't really negative members of their world. But you can ask them about the ETs out there that are supposedly negative.
No, I just wondered because I had some in my room and I wondered
Your
if they.
Pleiadians?
I don't know.
Okay.
But I
What do they
wondered
look
if they
like?
were Pleiadians.
Yeah.
I just knew that I was being put back into bed,
Yeah.
and then, I saw one in the doorway, and I said something to, some friends in a group that was in at the time, and I said what happened, and then I looked, and there was this being next to my bed,
Yeah.
but I wasn't afraid at all.
Yeah.
And the only light was from the alarm system, the security thing in the hall. And then it was so funny, because I turned over, I felt, oh yeah, Fred's here, so it's okay. He was out, and I thought, I lay with my eyes closed, and I thought, Fran, how silly are you? They can see you, And then the next thing you know, I remembered nothing. But I wondered, and then later, years later, there was a woman who did energy healing. And she said that there was a Pleiadian named Padu, I think, who was helping me.
Okay.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
But are those the kind of questions you can ask?
Yeah, you can
or-
ask them all about that. And they will
I mean, I don't
have
want
more
to take up
detail.
the time of it.
No, please ask during the session, and that'll be interesting. And don't be afraid, feel afraid to take up space with your questions if you have a lot of questions. Whatever is asked will always answer the questions that are unasked and everybody else.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We're ready.
Ready to go? Okay. I guess just let me know after half an hour has passed. An hour and a half, rather. Hour and a half. We can. Unless they will. I don't think I'll need a break, but they will kind of end the session if that's necessary. Sometimes I do 40-minute sessions with a break in between, and sometimes it's just a full hour and a half. Okay, so I guess I will see you later, and enjoy. Hello, yes, we are here with you. We are very pleased to interact with you in this way. We speak on behalf of the Pleiadian civilization, and we speak for the great purpose of expanding our awareness, your awareness, and through that reflective expansiveness we generate together, we both have the opportunity to learn more about all that is. And for us, this is the greatest joy. So we do thank you deeply and completely for this opportunity. We are here, as are many other extraterrestrial civilizations, present at higher levels, that you must raise your own vibrational frequency in order to perceive. Though were you to merely open your eyes, you would find this room very filled with tremendous light, with stupendous beings of great love who come as reflectors of how wise and magnificent you as creators truly are. You live in a world in tremendous times of accelerated energy, and in each and every moment, you have greater and greater opportunities to integrate these waves of energy coming to your planet now. We wish you to open your hearts to us, to feel that we are but a part of you and you a part of us. As we learn together, we share the vast and powerful experience of feeling ourselves to be more than one individual expression, but a fragment of an infinite canvas of light. And in this canvas of light, there are many threads that weave together, creating a tapestry, a mosaic of great joy. We do thank you once again. We have much to share with you, and we extend our invitation to your questions. We hope we may answer to the best of our ability and to your greatest joy and expansion. For us, that is a great delight. You may proceed now with your questions.
Are you a single entity or are you a conglomeration of several?
We are several individuals who, as members of the Pleiadian civilization, always think, act, and speak in terms of a collective perspective. So specifically, we are the channels, future incarnations, and there are several of us. Yet we always see in terms of what the whole of our society sees. We do have our own individual expressions, our own individual personal excitements, yet we have come to understand as a collective that what excites us as individuals is of the greatest benefit to the collective, and what is of greatest benefit to the collective aids all that is in refining itself more and more.
Nobody else? I'm going to ask another one. Is the universe, as we know it, is it really holographic, or is it some another type of nature we're not aware of?
Is the universe holographic? Well, in a sense, this is a helpful metaphor. You reflect the infinite, and what appears before you in your life is the perfect reflection, always, of what you vibrate at many levels. Some of this is conscious, much of this is unconscious, and much of this is intrinsically linked with many other aspects of your soul that play out in alternate realities, some of which upon your Earth, some of which upon other planets. And in what is reflected to you in your life, you may, if you wish, gain the experience of witnessing in each moment an integration of all of these different lifetimes, different incarnations, and all that you believe to be true, all that you offer through your vibration and through your held beliefs. So in that sense, the universe always brings to you that which you are, yes, and as well, each individual piece of all that is operates under the very same principles And there are not truly that many principles, though the ones that do pertain in each and every layer of reality.
Are the Pleiadians involved in any way in South Pole, Antarctica discoveries going on?
Which discoveries do you speak of?
There's rumors that there's spaceships under the ice and bodies in stasis that we have been exploring for 15 years in secret.
Yes, we thank you for that further information on this subject. We specifically are not involved in a direct sense, as we are not the specific individuals who came to your planet at that time, though other extraterrestrial races have, yes, and were involved deeply. More you would like to ask about this?
Are you involved with the Great Pyramid?
Yes. We were in direct telepathic communication with the ancient Atlanteans, who became the renowned mystics of Egypt. And we shared with them vast information, vast knowledge of what they were to do and how they were to do it. Though this connection, again, in the same way that we connect with our channel, telepathically, was not a direct interference on the physical level.
Who and how built the pyramids?
You built the pyramids, though you were greatly aided by us and by the Syrian civilization, who shared with you the knowledge of the internal technologies that were used to manipulate matter with psychic ability. You are uncovering slowly but surely.
You mentioned we are to raise our vibration. If we are to be in the right direction, could you share like signs that you would know that you're on the right track?
The right track is a terminology reflective of a essentially lower dimensional understanding in your world, implying that there is a predetermined destiny out there, that there is a road that you may take that is the road that leads you where you're going, when in fact in each and every moment you diverge into infinite parallel realities. And in each and every direction that you walk in your life, there are infinite ways of expressing the same task, the same goal. And so the best way that you can understand that you're going someplace very good is by noticing how you are feeling. If you are feeling very good, then you are in a way that will bring you to a very good feeling result. The universe will communicate with you, or at least that may be your perception of it. When you are on this very good feeling, exciting, and we do very much mean exciting path, you bring forth a tremendous wave of information that communicates to you through noticing coincidences you allow yourself to feel the support that is there for you. When you are truly in your flow, as you say, the universe will always bring forth these synchronicities, as you call them. And they are but one of many signs that indicate to you you are operating on this higher frequency. We do say to you that the very best way that you can bring yourself to this much higher frequency and be on the right path, so to speak, is by doing what makes your heart beat faster, doing exactly what excites you. And this need not come from a mentally created idea of what will be your most noble accomplishment. No, it is in each and every moment. What choice makes your heart beat faster? What choice makes you more enthused? For this is the energy that will bring you into that state in which you notice that all is connected and all is one, and that even if you don't get where you set out to, when you act in this state of vast excitement and bring your heart to beat quicker, you allow yourself the opportunity to find the paths that resonate most with that frequency that you emanate. Though once again understand that there are infinite paths, and in each and every moment, with every change in your perspective, with every thought you generate, and especially with every word you speak and action you take, you bring yourself into a different one of these infinite timelines. And we do mean in every moment, we do mean in every nanosecond. So understand that there is no one right path, and that in fact you never made a wrong decision in choosing or generating any path. All paths essentially lead you where you are going, though it is the frequency that you bring to each now moment, to each nanosecond, that most determines the quality of the outcome.
Are you the same group that channeled through Barbara Marciniak?
Yes,
You are.
yes,
Okay.
and many others.
And Bashar?
No,
No.
that is a different species known as the Esasani, though the channel has connections with this race and this being as well. And much of the knowledge from this being has informed the channel's conscious and subconscious minds, through which we translate our stream of energy. So we understand if some of the vocabulary may be similar, but we are indeed the Pleiadians, and they have come through the Barbaras, and they have come through many other beings. This is but one messenger, and you all have that potential to bring forth our energy stream.
Should we be worried about the chemtrails? Some say that they're protecting us from radiation and others say they're poisoning us.
Well, first of all, there are no shoulds, and if there were a should, worried would be the very last thing that you should do or should feel. About the chemtrails, yes, they are transmitting certain waves of information, certain energies to you that are not based entirely in love. Though those who are transmitting these chemtrails from their low dimensionally oriented belief systems do exactly what they believe they need to do. What we suggest you do is to focus somewhere else, in a sense. Yes, you have many tools at your disposal that will mitigate the negative influence of these chemtrails, and they do produce a negative influence, yet so do your microwave, so do your television, so do your cell phones, so do your computers, so forth and so on. So if you were to focus upon all of these negative influences, you would find yourself very tied up. Yet, if you dedicate conscious moments where you move your focus from these influences to that which resonates with feelings of peace, connectedness, and bliss, then you would be in a much safer space. You would be in a much more deeply connected space. Understand that these influences in your world, yes, are on their way out. And from your perspective, in your dimension, it will take some time. Though the very best way to accelerate that time is by focusing upon these solutions. And the first solution is in your own consciousness. That your consciousness, by the power of its focus, has the vast power to essentially alchemize these influences by allowing yourself to focus upon what is innate to you. And what is innate to you is power.
How can we help our young children to raise their frequency and help them to ascend?
First of all, understand that in your sense of enlightenment, children already have it. They come in with it. And it is you, as a collective, with your beliefs and conditions that you force upon your children from a very young age, that take it away from them. So in a sense, you best reorient yourselves. You have come to think that you are teaching your children, yet perhaps consider that your children, already enlightened, deeply connected to their source, can be the teachers for you. If you allow your children, with their innate connectedness, with their sensitivity to energy, with their awareness of multidimensional existence, that they display innately, should you give them no reason to think otherwise. With these gifts your children display, you may learn a great deal about your own gifts, your own sensitivities, your own passions, your own power. So we most of all suggest to you to, if you can, homeschool your children. And at best, you may bring forth communities of children and allow them to choose exactly what they wish to learn about, and allow them to be reflectors to you as you share what you know about those subjects and give the children the resources to play with those subjects. You may more deeply illuminate the power of your consciousness, for truly, you need not study in your world the ways that you have chosen to. And those great geniuses of your time, those great masterful artists, have shown to you that knowledge and talent can be assimilated in much more rapid ways than you perceive as possible. And those individuals who display these gifts are given great status in your world, However, this is the natural ability of most of you. When you allow yourself to deeply immerse yourself in the energy of excitement that brings you to higher dimensional awareness, have the ability to bring forth into your present experience information, talent, knowledge from your other incarnations instantaneously. And in the future, children will learn this way, as you have all done it already in other incarnations. Children will be the first to show you that in your world in very pronounced ways.
Is it true that children that are being born today have 12-strand DNA, unlike us having 2?
Biologically, you all have 2 strands of DNA. The 12 strands of DNA are present, metaphorically speaking, at higher levels. They are non-physical strands of DNA that, yes, each of you have. The children, in a sense, as they are of a rate of vibration that is much different than the children of the past. For many of them will not go through the same restrictive processes. They simply will not allow for it, or they will be given other opportunities. So these children innately are more hardwired, so to speak, for the vast psychic feat that is innate for each and every one of you, yes.
Was it Pleiadians? Was it you people who I saw in my bedroom, and I had no fear, but also I was told that Pleiadian, I think Padu, was helping me and doing healing. Is that true?
Well, yes, you do have deep connections with us and with that particular being. However, at this particular moment of interaction, you were interacting with the gray species. Would you like to know more?
Well, that was years ago. I hope that I've raised my consciousness to get away from the grays, but...
Well, understand this, that the grays are not necessarily of a negative orientation. The grays are, in a sense, other versions of yourself. As we have said, there are infinite timelines, and the species known as the grays are a progressed alternate timeline of Earth. In other words, your Earth goes down many streams, and from where you are at now, you are inevitably headed towards integration, harmony, unity, and a successful, pleasant experience as you merge with the intergalactic Federation. Yet there are other timelines of Earth in which that was not the choice as a collective you made. And in these timelines, you mutated, your brain changed in tremendous ways as you morphed and merged with your technology, and you lost many capabilities. First of all, your emotional capability was greatly diminished, and eventually your capability to reproduce was very diminished. Or rather, the grays. They are other versions of yourself, so we say that word to make that very clear to you. And And so the Greys, because they had greatly polluted their planet, greatly altered their genetics, were unable to continue to survive. And as vastly technologically capable beings, they use their knowledge and ability to travel through the dimensions into your world. At a higher level, you had the agreements to make this possible for 3 reasons. The first reason is that in harvesting your genetic material, the Greys were able to survive. The second is that in receiving the genetic changes from the Greys, you shifted yourselves more deeply into the timeline that you currently inhabit of love, joy, harmony, and intergalactic integration. And thirdly, because these interactions allowed you to create a third race. And so the Greys came not understanding human emotions, and thus so encouraging in many of you great fear. This was their unconscious mistake. They lacked the awareness of the emotion of fear, or any emotion in particular, though they were very drawn to the emotion of love, and that vast emotion of love that your planet emanated was what drew them to your planet, for they came to understand that the missing ingredient that brought their race to the point that they had progressed to was love, was emotion. And in order to survive, they came to you to bring that missing component back into their genetic line and therefore survive as a species. And as we have said, this was also of great interest for your planet, for in altering the genetics of perhaps a third of your population, and yes, we do mean that, a third of your population has had these interactions with the Greys. In doing so, they helped your planet move more directly in alignment with the timeline that you currently bring forth and forward.
Thank you.
Yes, you are very welcome. We do thank you.
Who's doing the cattle mutilations and why?
Which mutilations?
The cattle
Where?
in southwest U.S. in general.
Oh, all right. These interactions are the acts of certain humans with very fear-based negative agendas. Are they portrayed to be something else?
We thought ETs were doing it.
Are you saying you're being done by humans?
Yes.
But that doesn't make sense. The surgical procedures that they go through, we don't have, at least not to our knowledge.
And what is specifically happening to these cattle?
Well, they excise certain portions like the anus and the mouth, the tongue, and
Take
just
the
certain.
blood.
Yeah,
Eyes.
eyes. Mhm.
And you are not believing that you are technologically capable of such mutilations?
Well, supposedly some have been seen being taken up into ships.
And do you not suppose that your own planet has its own ships similar to the ships of other planets?
Well, if we do, we don't know about it.
Yes, there is very, very much concealed from you by your governments. Understand this, that the Arcturian Federation, as well as several other extraterrestrial civilizations hover around your world, creating an energetic field of protection from any negatively oriented extraterrestrials. They do exist, and as we come to your world at higher levels, so can the negatively oriented extraterrestrials come to influence you mentally, emotionally, spiritually, if you think of it that way. Yet, at physical levels, because of the Arcturians Federation's influence, there is not the possibility of these beings influencing your world. And any ships that act in negative ways in your world are created by your elite to enhance the fear of extraterrestrial life. The major elite forces are aware of us, and when we say us in this context, we do mean all of the intergalactic extraterrestrial races coming to your world. And for the most part, they are postponing, to the best of their ability, further contact. It is you as individuals who may increase the probability of contact, and the probability of contact is the most very direct means that we perceive that as a collective you may take back control from the ruling elite. And you do so by opening yourself to that possibility, opening yourself to the excitement for your evolution, and understanding that evolution means excitement, and understanding that excitement means greater probability of contact.
Can you name some of these elite you're referring to?
Well, you must know all the names at this point already, don't you?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
Well, let's hear them.
Yeah.
The vast Lizzies, as has been termed by ourselves and by others, fall under the names that you know very well. The dreaded Illuminati, the Masonic orders, yes, we know all about it. Though what is most important for you to understand is that they have only the power that you give them with your thought. And when you redirect your thought to the empowerment that is innate within you, you override their influence. And that is what will most vastly change your world.
We've been looking at some videotapes of David Wilcock
Yes.
interviewing Corey Good.
Yes.
Is Corey honest? Is he telling the truth, or is this something he's imagined, or did it really happen as he claims?
For the most part, he is giving a very accurate transcript of his experiences, yes. There are certain instances that don't play out exactly as it mechanically happened, so to speak, though that is not his own fault, that it's his own psychological interference with an experience that is vastly more complex than can be put in your terms. So you need not allow that to be a discriminating factor against the validity of what he shares with your world. It is very important and very relevant, yes.
Well, one of the hardest things for people to believe is his claim that he spent 20 years on Mars, and then they brought him back to the same point in time that he was when he left.
Yes, this did happen.
Okay.
Understand that we and many other extraterrestrial races have a vastly different experience of time at higher levels of consciousness. All time is simultaneous.
We know that.
So when you leave this third dimensional experience, especially under the influence of such a grand extraterrestrial intervention, you vastly distort your perception of time. And he was away for an amount of time that cannot be measured in your years, for higher levels of time do not operate under years. You can approximate years given the feeling and perceived sense of duration, and in that sense the amount of time that he spent away, so to speak, could be equated to 20 years, though because it happened in a different level of reality, at a different level of dimensional perception, you cannot directly equate it to your years that you experience in your world.
Well, I'm not so concerned with the number of years, but the claim that they put him back to his same age that he was when he left.
Yes. And what about such a feat?
Well, it doesn't seem credible to me.
Do you understand that such dimensional jumps are very common in your world, and as a soul you do them very often?
Well, that wasn't so much a dimensional jump as it was a time jump.
Well, yes, time is one of the dimensions. So when you make a jump in time, you are making a dimensional jump.
Agree.
We can best equate this with the knowledge of near-death experience, that many who have near-death experiences report being away in some fantastic heavenly world, a state of nothingness, or a hellish world even, depending on their notions and their beliefs. They report that being in these other states feels like very vast amounts of time. And sometimes when people have near-death experiences or certain accidents, they find uncanny otherworldly happenings that take place that make it so that they escaped by a mere thread, and their memory of how such things took place is greatly distorted, greatly discoherent, you could say. And when such and such a phenomena happens, what happens is that the conscious awareness is going through a certain timeline to the point of death, and the soul leaves the physical world after dying and makes the choice to return to the physical world in an alternate lens of time, in an alternate timeline. And so these experiences of elongated states of consciousness, out-of-body experience, and so on and so forth, are the result of moving from one alternate reality into another. And this is but one very common experience that is similar to what the messenger you have mentioned has experienced, and can be a way that some of you can make more sense of such and such a thing happening. Though understand that these are extreme examples of what happens very often in your world. And as you raise your level of perception, you will find that it happens in striking ways as you are moving through infinite alternate realities in each and every nanosecond. When you find that objects mysteriously move through your house, it is not that someone is moving them. Well, sometimes it may be. Oftentimes it is that you shift into alternate realities in which things that have happened are different. Things that are going on outside of you are different. And it happens all the time. You are simply becoming more aware of how you move through many, many timelines. And you are equally within each and every one of those timelines.
Do we sometimes go through near-death experiences to alternate levels so that we can be healed?
Yes, very often. Often as a soul, in order for a very vast restructuring, removal of certain beliefs, the integration of higher levels of unity, you find it easier to let go, to give yourself an experience of being close to God. And as you return to Source, return to unity, you find that level of unity within you, that connection to unity within you. And you decide, rather than remaining there, to bring what you have learned from your experience of returning back into your life in an alternate reality.
I often get visitations during the nights that are more of like an energetic form, just like moving clouds and whatever spaces. Do you know what the purpose of these energetics are coming to visit me and who they are?
Do you have an idea of who they may be? How do you feel as they come to visit you?
If they're otherworldly or whether they are people who are passed on to another dimension.
Yes, and they are both.
These would be family people?
Yes. Your parents and several others.
And what do they want from me?
They are merely coming to say hello, to remind you that nothing in the universe is ever lost, and that they are still unconditionally loving and supporting you.
Some of them don't feel very positive.
Those are not your family in that case. What are these beings suggesting to you?
I'm not understanding what they're trying to project. I just know that it gives me a feeling of discomfort.
Oh, all right.
More mental, emotional discomfort.
Do these beings present any images to you?
Nope, just this sort of dark moving clouds.
And from where do these clouds emerge?
I do not know. Usually I am woken up during the night and I just see them around me. Their presence is made known.
Very well, then yes, we are sensing this influence of certain astral entities of a negative orientation. And what you may understand is that like vibrations attract each other. And while they may not seem well intended, because on a certain level they are not, they come to you at a higher sense in order to help you face certain shadows within you. And so as you come to find the value that these interactions show you that the veils are indeed very thin for you, and that you do have the vast capability of interacting with interdimensional energies. As you bring forth the light, as you use this connection, and know that in these moments you may invite into your experience beings of the light simply by speaking their names. And you do know many of them, and there will be more that come to you as you allow yourself to be excited and open to the experience of developing these connections. Some of these beings you may call to be angels, and ourselves and many other extraterrestrial beings are very willing to support you in coming to develop strong connections with love-based beings. So as you call forth these beings of the light in these moments, through metaphor, you will be shown what the story behind these darker connections is really guiding you towards. And as you bring love through the darkness within and without, with the help of many on other levels of reality, your parents, your family, who come to support you already, may be one of many who reach out to you to bring the light to any shadows that present themselves. We use the word shadows to guide you in understanding that in your world, the shadows you perceive in the physical surroundings need light to be present, that the shadowy figures that present themselves on your astral planes are there to suggest to you that there are forces, there are lights at higher levels that need be present in order for there to be shadows present. Use this as a great gift, for when you see shadows within and without, you may know that there is light, and you may call upon that light, for that light is who you are, essentially.
Thank you.
Yes, you are very welcome and deeply appreciated. Please do invite us to the party.
You're welcome.
A two-part question,
Oh, all right.
even though the subject is unlimited in questions, but I'll limit it to two questions. The first one is, do Pleiadians have an influence on crop circles?
Yes, directly.
And the second part of the question is it possible, and is it feasible that crop circles can be messages for individual people
Yes,
as well as a collective?
yes. All yeses there. Would you care for more elaboration?
Yes.
Oh, all right. Many crop circles are not produced by physical means. They are produced by collective vibrations sent by waves of thought and visualization from extraterrestrial civilizations. And for this reason, they appear in instants. We have been responsible for producing many crop circles in your world. Though we came with not a ship, we simply informed the plant life and the elemental components involved in our intentions, and from afar caused the shift to occur. And the symbols involved, in many cases, have been direct signifiers for channels, for beings working with ourselves, and for the other races who are involved in creating the circles to understand at deeper levels what has been gained through study and contemplation. Though for the most part, these crop circles are designed to spread an energy that is received by your planet to the populace. And as you know that when you look at these photos, it is for you to receive that energy. And you receive that energy through paying deep attention to your feeling. It cannot be understood rationally, though metaphor, artistic interpretation, and deep feeling can allow you to find that stream of energy that comes to you. The symbols portrayed by crop circles can be used for meditation as mandalas placed upon your altars or other permission slip devices you use to signify your connection, to inform yourself more thoroughly of your connection. And you will be drawn to the images that are most relevant to you by excitement, by a feeling that signifies to you that that particular image is very relevant for you. And you may place those images in different areas and come to use them to contemplate them. In terms of interacting with the crop circles, the lands that receive the crop circles are highly charged always with these interdimensional energies that are the source and creation of the circle itself. And each circle will have particular significance in symbolic ways for those who come to witness and experience the presence of that circle.
Were you responsible for the one at Barbary Castle, and what was the intent, if you were?
There were many crop circles there.
Well, the most famous one appears to be a tetrahedron with circles, three circles.
Yes, we were involved. The tetrahedron is symbolic of your knowledge of the higher dimensions in which you exist, as it is the shape of certain energy fields that surround your body. And it has been placed there as part of the collective reawakening to this ancient knowledge of the fields of energy through which you exist and operate. And yes, we were involved, though there were many others who were also involved in these crop circles. And other extraterrestrial races who are involved in the crop circles may be known as Ya-Yel and Syrian, as well as Esasani. There are more, though we only wish to name these for now. The others will introduce themselves when the moment is most aligned in accordance.
Thank you.
Yes, you are very welcome. We do thank you.
Is the energy from the crop circles used to activate our crystalline body, and do we have to activate it in order to help with the ascension process?
That is one way that you may interpret it. Though, as we have said before, the information contained within the circles comes to you to shift your perception to higher dimensions. And you may interpret that as your crystalline body, though more plainly put, it is your energy field, your electromagnetic field, and your multidimensional connections that you can access through your awareness of those energy fields. And yes, this is part of what you know to be the ascension, and we and others have brought these circles to you as part of this ascension process, in agreement with your species at a collective level, to assist and transform in delightful ways. So yes, they are gifts to you, and your witnessing of them are your gifts to us.
With most of the religions or spiritual groups in the world, they teach that, you know, our main purpose is for the soul to go back to its creator. What is your goal?
Our goal is to experience ourselves individually and collectively as infinite creators, and through witnessing the creations that we do create infinitely, experience all that there is to experience, and know ourselves in continually deep and profound ways.
Just like the expression, be still and know that I am God.
That expression leads you to this awareness, yes. If you distill it and experience it at higher levels. About a component of your original question, we wish to state this, that in your world for some time you have come to believe you must accomplish and work towards your union with God, yet as God is all that is, and you are a part of all that is, you are already and always united with God. You have never left God, and you can never leave God. Your process of death returns you to complete mergence with collective essence, with singular yet collective essence, yet even as an individuated aspect of the collective, you contain all of the collective. So in that sense, you are already united with your God. And this understanding will free you from many of the bonds that you have placed upon yourselves. There is no need to be forgiven or accepted by someone or something, and especially some God outside of you, for you are that God, as a component of that God.
If that's the case, then why do we bother to come here? What's our purpose?
Come where?
Come into this physical reality.
As we come into our reality for the almost directly same purpose, you come to learn and explore. You come to experience yourself as part of all that is. And through your conscious actions as an infinite creator of that which you wish to create. And this process of creation, the process of reflection, the process of experiencing yourself as an individuated yet interwoven aspect of all that is of great joy and of great value to you as a soul, and mostly as a human. We understand that some of you on your planet are not choosing to know the joy that is innate in this expression. They'll understand that at higher levels, joy is essentially the vibration of all that is experienced, and it is all that we ourselves experience in our world. We do now experience some level of contrast that informs us through the process of reflection, how to create more deliberately, how to create more varied and vast experiences. Though we do not experience the type of contrast you experience in your world as positive or negative energies. And you as a soul at higher levels will relinquish any negative energy, potential, in all senses of the word, upon your return to non-physical. So there need be little fear, in fact no fear at all.
Are there certain souls who would choose not to experience it through physicality?
Yes, and these souls choose mostly quasi-physical experiences, or non-physical experiences at higher levels, though there are no aspects of all that is besides all of all that is that does not choose some form of individuation, for it is through individuation that experience is gained, and all that is wanted vast and infinite experiences, and thus it chose to be all that is.
Yeah, my understanding is that all that is individuated itself into various forms.
Yes, that is
and
the
we
case.
are one of them.
Yes, that is the case.
And we experience for him, or it, or whatever you want to call it.
Yes.
Through us.
Yes. Though as individual components of all that is, you still are all that is.
Yeah.
That is key. For as part of all that is, you may access every other component of all that is beyond your scope of individuation. As you are a thread woven in a tapestry of threads, you may connect with and learn from every other aspect, every other thread, simply by where you place your focus.
Consciously?
Yes.
A totally different vein. Is the omniverse finite or infinite?
Infinite.
Infinite. Okay.
Can we split our souls? I've heard that a lot of people think they were Cleopatra because a part of a soul can go and be with that person or be that person. So is it that we are all little pieces all put together for a soul? Or do we stay as one individual?
As individuated aspects of all that is, you are a soul, and your soul is part of larger and larger conglomerates you could refer to as oversouls. The souls that make up your oversoul are both incarnate and disincarnate, and in that sense you share past lives with many other individuals who are incarnate in your world, some of which you may come to meet and refer to as twin flame soulmates, or whatever terminology suits you in your understanding. And other parts of your oversoul incarnate you may never come to meet in this incarnation, though you may know of them. And so in the sense that you are being contained within an oversoul, you have access to many vast incarnations from this planet, from other planets, from the past, from the future, from your perspective at least. That is how it is perceived. And so there may be many individuals who have had seemingly past incarnations as other beings. Though understand this, that you always retain your individuality as yourself. And so that while these other lifetimes past and future are indeed other parts of your oversoul. They are just as much you as are the other people sitting in the room with you. They are the most helpful teachers, for they are deeply interwoven and always directly paralleling your experience in this lifetime, though you will always be, first and foremost, yourself.
Thank you.
Yes, you are very welcome. We do thank you.
Could you tell us about our son? It's changing. Now, we're hearing from Ed Dames, and he's putting a negative aspect because he does remote viewing. And he's talking about moving to different parts of the country, while David Wilcock is talking more about ascension. Now, I know the Earth has gone through it many times with the solar blasts. Can you give us some more information on that?
May we have a more specific question here?
Can you tell us anything about the sun? Do you feel that we're going into a change with the sun? Many people are talking about that now.
Yes. Each and every time your sun emits solar flares, there are initiated tremendous changes upon your planet. Understand this, that your sun has its own consciousness. Your sun is a very aware and alive presence, and you may come to interact with your sun telepathically, and as you do so, you will understand why, at deeper levels, the sun undergoes such tremendous activity. The sun is a complete and total reflection and mirror of the collective consciousness of your planet. And the sun receives from you all of your thoughts and emotions. And your sun reflects those energies it receives back to you in your life and as a collective. And as you go through tremendous changes, the sun receives what you need energetically. The sun receives what you are requesting with your thoughts, and your sun provides in return massive waves of information and energy that you receive by the light all around you. And when you bring consciousness to this and pay attention to the rays of light of the sun upon your skin, you may come to understand how you integrate this energy received by the sun each moment the light touches you. And for this reason, it is of great import for your awareness as well as your health that you spend conscious moments receiving sunlight. The sun is transmitting these massive solar flares in order for you to transform as a collective. And each time the sun emits these solar flares, the energies emanated by your consciousness, the energies emanated by your thoughts, and the parallel realities that you draw forth into your experience from them is, in a sense, heightened. In a sense, every time there is a solar flare, the reality you are bringing into your experience is given a bookmark, so to speak. It is more fortified in its nature. And so as you move vastly through different parallel realities, and there are versions of yourself who choose every reality, there is not one fixed, solid schedule that your Earth is proceeding upon. There are merely timelines. And with each and every timeline, the vibration you have brought about in your own consciousness thus far to this point is more engendered, more linked with the collective vibration. And the collective vibration is fortified into reality. And you can use these moments when you anticipate solar flares to bring together collective positive focus, to understand that any of the symptoms of detoxification that you receive from these solar flares are of your great benefit. And the detoxification happens at many levels. It happens emotionally through certain upheavals, certain discordances, and seeming disasters outside that reflect to you those inner upheavals. Though, as you bring your focus within, more and more so, the necessary components outside to bring you into your connection with these detoxifications, with these transformations, becomes greatly lessened. So we do invite you to see what appears before you, always as a grand opportunity, the grandest opportunity to feel more completely, to experience more completely, and to know more completely who you are and what you are offering.
As the chemtrails, I heard that they're trying to stop this. Is that true, that they don't want us? It used to be the Illuminati.
Who is they?
Ever creating, I don't know who's creating the chemtrails. Would be that, is there a reason for that, so we don't feel this from the sun and we cannot change?
Yes, one of the reasons behind these interferences is to block out some of the information that you receive from the sun.
Thank you for your information.
Yes, we do thank you very deeply. Something more you would like to ask about these subjects?
I have another question. This may be very touchy for
Oh,
some
all right.
people,
Yes.
but in one of her channelings, Barbara Marciniak said that the crucifixion of Christ was a holographic insert, that it never happened, and Jane Roberts, who channeled Seth, echoed the same sentiments. What's the story? Yes or no?
Yes and no.
Explain it.
As we have said, there are infinite timelines, infinite parallel realities. And so, in some of these realities, Christ, as has been said by ourselves and by these other beings, was removed and a substitute used in the crucifixion, named to be the Christ. Yet in other parallel realities, it was truly the figure of Christ who was there upon the cross. And the distinction is up to individual interpretation, which timeline you most prefer to look at. We can best put it to you this way, that what you perceive as the past is but one example of the past. And there are truly infinite other paths. And collectively, you move through timelines into which what you remember as history changes. And the books, all of the material to back up that change, changes as you shift into that reality. And so, you, as a collective, have moved into a reality in which the Christ truly was not crucified, though in some realities he was.
Well, this business of timelines is very tricky because people say there's a timeline in which we lost the Second World War, for instance.
Yes, that was a timeline.
Mhm.
Well, is a timeline.
But how does one go in and out of how from one timeline to another?
Subconsciously.
You
It
know,
is.
I wouldn't want to be in the timeline where we lost the war.
No, that is not one of the most positively oriented timelines, we could say. Though you can access the information the other beings from this timeline simply by imagining what that timeline may be like. And as you do so, you will receive information across the dimensional lines. And through this reflection, you may gain something of value. If it is a great curiosity to you, there may be something to be learned by that. What happens in order for a collective to shift in between timelines is a mass agreement. Though this mass agreement happens at unconscious levels. And as you choose a reality of much greater unity, of much greater cooperation, you choose to shift into timelines that are reflective in the past of that sense of the unconditional love that is available to you. There is a great wide understanding of this phenomenon growing in your world through the question of the figure of Nelson Mandela, who many of you believe once died in prison. Though if you look at the facts in your world, it indicates he died very recently. And the memory that he died long ago is a fragment left over from the parallel reality that many of you once inhabited, but shifted through agreement into this reality. Understand that each of you as individuals also jump between the realities. So it is a conscious choice which reality you generate. And it may not be perceived that way from your dimension of experience, for you continue to meet the same people, and the same individuals that surround you will always be present. Yet you, as an individual, choose what reality everyone around you comes to experience. And should you choose a different reality, there will be other versions of the people that you know having different experiences in different realities, such as there are alternate versions of yourself in those realities also having those experiences.
Okay, thank you.
Is that the reason why some people think that you can bilocate and be in two different places at once?
In a sense, that is a form of bilocation, but it is not, in a sense, the bilocation referred to by the feats of the great mystics of your world. In a sense that the alternate realities are a form of bilocation, then you are infinitely locating, for you are located in infinite parallel realities of this lifetime.
What do you think about the laws of cause and effect, karma, pleasant and unpleasant karma, and our interaction with people, and that we seem to get together to work out karma?
Yes.
Good or bad? No?
Yes, that is the case, that all that you put out always comes back to you.
Right.
And what you receive is always a direct reflection of what you are offering with your own vibration, and what you are asking to learn about with your own vibration. So, in that sense, when you come to truly understand this, whether somebody is very rude to you or very kind to you, you will come to thank them with great appreciation, understanding that all the world around you is always giving you the reflection of what you offer with your own vibration, what inside of yourself you need to come to understand in order to come into alignment with the highest expression of yourself.
And does that go from, like sometimes in this lifetime, we're working out things from a past lifetime as far as action and reaction?
Well, in a sense, these other lifetimes that you may come to remember do act as mirrors, do act as direct parallel experiences, vibrationally, emotionally, in terms of what you believed in that lifetime and in this lifetime are of a similar vibration when you recall the memories, always. They are not necessarily a cause. The cause can only be here and now. And while you have seemingly built up your here and now with many experiences in your so-called past, your here and now is an independent moment, is an independent expression of yourself. And it is only here and now that you can alter your experience. And when you alter your experience, you alter both your past and your future. And not only do you alter your past and your future, you alter every timeline in which you have an experience.
I have a question.
Yes, we do, thank you.
Can you elaborate more about the direction I received from my shaman teacher, Oscar Mirakusada, in respect to meditating on the spiritual name Isael, which was given to me? What is the significance of following and doing this meditation daily in repeating this name as outlined in the Sixtos Paslaw book, The Transmission?
Well, this book was a translated stream of energy received by extraterrestrial groups. We were involved in this transcription, yes. And this meditation, this guidance, was given as a tool through which you may access your other incarnations from the future, from other realities that will allow you to awaken your consciousness, awaken your healing abilities and your psychic gifts. Should you allow that connection to spring forth, the name precisely has a specific vibrational coding within it by its nature that aligns your energetic structure with our system specifically.
Then I don't need to have any fear about proceeding on with this direction as far as what realm or dimension will be communicating with me.
It's best that you have only trust and love, yes. You may trust that this vibration given to you is of very loving intention and is directly aligned with our system, and we have only loving intentions, loving energy for you, and we would love to reflect with you, to establish a deeper connection, as would many other extraterrestrial races that have presented themselves to you, that have worked with you in your rituals and ceremonies, and have worked with you in your dream time since then. You may not always recall it, though when you do not recall it, it is the result of the fear you have placed between you and what was presented to you as a potential expansion. And this fear wipes out the memory of these interactions that have been occurring in your life for many years since your initial encounter with these streams of energy from other planets. And when you come to understand that when you have loving intentions and you focus upon the love within you, the multidimensional beings that come to you will only be a reflection of that love. The fear that you offer is your own creation. And were you to focus upon that fear and open yourself to multidimensional energies, you may meet some lower energies who vibrate at that level. Though when you come to trust in the power of your love and trust in the power of your trust and open the connection within you that is your innate ability, you will only be meted by loving presence.
Can you tell me more about the name that I received and how it's significant with your civilization?
Ishel. Yes? That is the name?
Isael.
Isaiah. Can you say the name aloud?
I-S-A,
Can you say it, pronounce it?
Isael.
And when you pronounce it again, can you feel a deeper presence? Can you speak it very slowly, intentionally, with an awareness on your chakra system, with an awareness on your energy stream, and feel the presence of how this name opens something that is innate within you?
I haven't yet done the meditation.
We are
as
asking you
directed.
to say this name out loud now,
Okay.
in a deep state of presence. You may close your eyes, bring your awareness to your heart, and picture from your heart a great stream of energy, spirals, light forms, that move from your heart through the top of your head into a very distant star. And as you hold your focus here, say this name out loud slowly and feel the vibrations in your body.
Isael.
Again.
Isael.
We thank you very deeply. You are a channel for multidimensional energies to come forth into the world. And you are innately wired for it. You all are. Yet now is the time that you trust this connection. It will first heal your body. It will then open your mind to new perceptions, to new abilities. And it will then bring forth the same process, the same experience in those in your life. And if you trust in this process, you will find enormous gifts. This name, chanted, spoken, awakens that connection. And those who will come to speak it will know that connection. Though first you will come to know it in ways beyond what we can explain to you.
Thank you.
Yes, we do thank you deeply and completely.
I have a question.
Yes.
About a week or so ago while meditating, I wasn't sure if I was speaking to my father or if I had fallen asleep and was dreaming. How can I distinguish that?
Are you perhaps wondering if you are speaking to him directly in person or at another level?
Another level.
Yes, you were indeed having that higher level communication. And while it may have started off in a semi-conscious state, you moved into a sleep state in order for more of the interaction to take place at other levels. But you may recall more of this and initiate this same level of communication in the similar way that you brought it forth initially. Something more you would like to ask about this experience or similar ones?
No. I am very drawn to crystals, and that was the first time meditating with them.
Yes.
Is this something that I should pursue further with crystal, like healing with crystals?
As that excites you, then that is the very best indicator that it is something very relevant for you. Though there are, again, no shoulds. So please do not should yourself or listen to those, spiritual or otherwise, who should you in any which way, and we do mean that very literally. You may release your sense of obligation and sense not only of obligation, but also your sense that there is one correct path, one correct action. What excites you, what enlivens passion and curiosity and wonder within you is always the very greatest way that you may come to experience more of yourself. And so, as these crystals bring wonder and excitement within you, you know innately at other levels that they have very vast gifts for you, and they do.
Thank you.
Yes, we do, thank you.
Barbara Marciniak said that information is stored in crystals and stone.
Yes.
And how does one retrieve that information?
Multidimensionally, you retrieve it, yes.
Sorry?
You retrieve it at multidimensional
Okay.
levels, and you access multidimensional levels by focusing upon your feelings and allowing your creative imagination to be open, to be explored. And as you open to the feelings and sensations accompanied by the presence of the crystals, and you use your creative imagination as a guidepost to bring you to more and more positive feeling ideas, positive feeling imaginative creations, you access the reflection stored within the crystal.
With all the stone around, there must be a lot of information stored.
Yes. There is vast information in every object, in every color, in every morsel and parcel of your world. There is vast information stored, and you access it by your feelings around it, the feelings that generate within you when you place your focus there. And you're used to be open to creative ideas that are inspired, memories that are triggered, ideations that are born from your first perception of those objects. And understand that the meaning, the energy, is your own creation. That while one object, one symbol, one crystal means one thing to one individual, the same object crystal has a different symbolic resonance for a different person. And for the same person, a certain symbol and object has a different meaning from moment to moment. And so always bring yourself to the here and now when you use your imagination and you use your feelings to allow you to receive information from the symbols and teachers around you. And there are infinite teachers present and alive within every object, every tool that presents itself to you.
A prime example, I'm thinking of the crystal skulls.
Yes, they are indeed living entities that you have created by your collective thoughts about them. The beliefs were held in your world for many thousands of years, that when you access the energy of a living object and imbue within that the intention of bringing the soul in alignment with similar qualities of a disincarnate human soul, you may attract that human soul who most resonates with that particular symbol to use that symbol as a portal through which they may share their energy and share their teachings. And so these objects are indeed living, alive beings that bring forth multidimensional energy. Some of these beings are disincarnate humans of very high levels of energetic awareness, and some of them are completely disincarnate beings with similar natures.
Thank you.
Yes, you are very welcome. We do thank you.
I would like to ask if I have relatives who are from ancient Native American culture or Star Nations.
Other aspects of your soul are incarnate as both indigenous peoples and as extraterrestrial races, yes?
Can you tell me which indigenous tribes and
Cherokee, Iroquois, Hopi, as well as South American cultures. And you may come to invite these beings who are other aspects of yourself, who are other souls, a part of the same oversoul, to come forth into your world, to come forth and meet you and reflect with you, to bring forth their teachings. And in doing so, you may come to embody an expression of some of the wisdom they share. And the wisdom may not always come as a direct knowledge of what happened. It may inspire you to make similar rituals, to observe similar principles of how energy in the natural world reflects your own consciousness, and how beings from the natural world come to you as teachers and helpers and allies. And this understanding gives you a greater understanding of the workings of all that is and your way of relating with other beings and with the natural world around you. And this is of great value to you and to those you will come to meet. Understand that these beings who may act as your guides are reflectors, other aspects of yourself.
thank you.
Yes, we do thank you.
I also have visitation similar to Lynn's, except of minor material. I
Yes.
see exactly what the object is. Many times it's people, sometimes it's an animal. One night it was just a torso.
Yes.
And as soon as I awaken, I say, who are you, what do you want? Gone.
Yes.
So what's going on?
You are again meeting guides, beings who are vibrationally akin to you. Sometimes, as we have expressed, other aspects of your oversoul, and they come to you in these deeper states of consciousness and exchange information with you.
That I'm not aware of consciously.
Yes.
Right.
And when you come to meet them, how do you first respond to them? With what energy do you bring them?
Well, surprise, I say,
Oh.
because how did you get in here? Because they're so real. I thought the person had gotten in the room somehow, because it was so real, I could have touched them.
And in your dream state, do the objects and beings you encounter not also seem very real?
Oh yeah.
Yes, they are very real. And so are these beings and apparitions that come to your astral plane. And simply because your awareness is still focused in a very dreamlike way, you meet them as if they are truly in your physical room. Well, they are in your room, but at higher levels. And as you come to release the surprise, in a sense, come to feel that it is both normal and very exciting that beings from other dimensions are around you and interacting with you. These encounters may become more in depth, more detailed, though you must first come to expect, in a sense, these interactions, to, if you want to even greatly accelerate these processes, eagerly anticipate these interactions as a normal and natural part of your experience. And as you do so, these interactions will come more easily into your experience and be more memorable, more visceral.
Well, one time I was actually poked and awakened.
Yes.
Yeah. That was
Someone's trying to get your attention then?
Got my attention. There's never any fear involved. It's all almost awe
Yes.
rather than fear.
The awe is a very attractive energy, and is part of the reason why they come in the first place. You may bring more intentionality to these interactions by requesting, if you wish, these visitations, by coming to trust that while these are pronounced ways in which these visitors meet you, there are more subtle ways in which you may carry forth your interactions with your thoughts, with your daydreams, with your creative imagination. These very same beings may come to interact with you, and they may use the same voice in your head with which you interact with yourself, though that same voice, that same visual inner viewing screen is the very same way that you come to meet these beings.
Well, one night I had 3 in a row, and I finally said, "This is enough. I want to get some sleep."
Yes, they will
And
all
it stopped.
eagerly abide by that
And it
request.
stopped.
Yes. Yes, they can only proceed with what you give them permission to proceed with, and must abide by your requests to leave or to come. So if you do request them to come, most likely they will.
But I never know what form it's going to take.
Oh, all right. Well, come to trust that the form that it takes is always the form that is most relevant for your learning in that moment.
Like a torso.
Oh,
I don't know what that meant.
what does it mean to you?
I don't know. Haven't understood
What
it.
connotations comes with a torso?
An ivory bust. That's what it was.
An ivory bust?
Hmm?
That's where your chakras are.
Right?
That's where your chakras are.
Every vision that comes is a direct reflection of your own applied meanings, of the ways in which you have defined a symbol to mean for you. So while as a collective you have certain agreements that certain symbols connotate certain things, as an individual you have your own unique perspective of this that you must come to trust, as it allows you to know your uniqueness and know that the symbols that present themselves to you have gifts that only you can interpret for yourself.
Okay. Thank you.
We encourage you to embody the robustness that is reflected to you, for it is truly who you are. And we do thank you very deeply.
I think probably we should call it to a close now because we've been channeling for over an hour. Unless other people have more questions.
I have one more question.
Yes.
What dimension do you source from? The 4th, the 5th, the 6th, the 7th, or higher?
Our range of dimensional expression is mostly from the fifth to the seventh dimension.
Thank you.
Yes, we do, thank you. Do you understand what that means?
Some elaboration would be helpful.
In the fifth dimension, we have an experience of being able to move through alternate realities and past and futures at will. For as fifth dimensional energy, we operate at a level beyond the linear time. And so we choose the singular moments that we express non-sequentially or non-linearly. There is a sequence to it, yet it is more of a pattern that spirals through time and alternate realities. And in this sense, we choose what we wish to experience instantly. Whatever we present into the world happens instantly. As fifth dimensional energy, we are also able to send higher dimensional components of ourselves, a duplication of our light body, so to speak, into any dimension we wish, and have simultaneous experiences in those dimensions and interact with other beings in those dimensions simultaneously. This is the best description we can give to you of how we experience our lives.
You mentioned about the range goes up to the seventh.
Yes.
Can I have an example of the seventh
The seventh
dimension?
dimension is moving even further past any sense of physicality. And so this is, in a sense, how we raise our vibration up to meet higher dimensional components of ourselves. As you have third dimensional bodies, fifth dimensional consciousness innately, we have fifth dimensional bodies innately. And we extend our consciousness to the seventh dimensions and higher in moments vibrationally akin to what you would call contemplation, meditation, something similar, simply awareness that moves into higher dimensions. So while we have this vast experience of traveling through many alternate realities, we are aware of fabrics of reality that transcend even time and space, that are higher dimensional expressions. And these are vibrational planes, very complex patterns. You may experience them as, and you may get a sense of the quality of any dimension by placing your focus there and consciously imagining it. If you wish to have an experience of the seventh dimension, the very best way you may do so is by asking your higher self to present to you what the seventh dimension feels like, and allowing your creative imagination to give you your own personal reflection, metaphor of what a seventh dimensional experience may be like. We could describe this to you as vast vibration, infinite vibrations that generate every reality, every timeline, that vibrate all of the strings of reality to an extent.
When you speak about traveling through alternate realities, are you speaking about your light bodies?
In a sense, yes. Though our light bodies are our bodies, we do not have a dense physical body in the same way that you do. Though we do have bodies, and they are made of light, so are yours.
But we are operating more in the third dimension here.
Well, you have third dimensional bodies, yet you have fifth dimensional awareness. You are aware of perceiving the other timelines we have mentioned, and you are aware of perceiving the sheer quality of experience that connects all of the timelines. And that quality of experience is the very greatest way you may access them. As you come to experience what you believe is possible, and you choose to believe more loving, more heart-based ideas, when you choose to believe only the information that feels empowering and loving to you, and you deliberately and consistently choose those beliefs, you come to have an experience of those beliefs. And as you come to experience those beliefs, you will come to a state of great expansion. For love is an ever-expansive force. And through love, you come to know your union innately with that which appears before you as other. Through love, you come to experience that you, as a part of all that is, are innately interwoven and connected with all other components and all that is. And that when you vibrate that love, you attract to you other more loving reflections, other resonant threads of vibration that amplify that love that you offer. And so the very best thing we can suggest to all of you is to consistently choose more love, more loving ways of seeing yourself, and more loving behaviors that reflect that love for yourself. And as you do so, you will find that love to be the most key component in all of your interactions.
Well, we all thank you for,
Thank you.
thank you very much.
Thank you, Don.
Yes, we do thank you. This has been the most grand opportunity for us. For through co-creating with you, we have learned a great deal about all that is. And for every opportunity to learn, once again, we are always deeply thankful. We do not leave you when we end our transmissions, for we are always present at higher levels, and we are transmitting the same telepathic stream of energy that moves the channel to speak to each and every one of you. And as you bring your awareness to the stream of energy, and you may do so now, by simply closing your eyes and placing the focus point of awareness in your heart, and seeing a single pinpoint of light that moves up into your neck and back down into your heart in a loop, coming down into your abdomen before moving back up into your heart, and witnessing this pinpoint of light moving in a figure eight, in the symbol of infinity, to signify to you that you are infinite and there are infinite versions of you. See this pinpoint of light moving up to your brain and back through your heart, to the base of your spine and to your brain, through your heart. And now see this pinpoint of light begin to travel further, up to your sun, through your heart, down to the earth, and up through your heart and into the sun, and back down to your heart, and back through the earth, and back up through your heart, and into the very center of the galaxy. As you allow this pinpoint of light to move through your body and energy field, it gives you a symbol to allow this stream of energy that is innate and always available to you to be felt and lived. Allow this energy to move, relieve, soothe, and awaken the love that is innate within you. You are of the stars, and you are of the earth, and you are every expression of the stars and the earth available, and more. we come to you, for we wish to assist your world in knowing more worlds. And there are many that are ready and willing to co-create with you as a collective. We as a collective have been coming for many, many of your years to plant the seeds of this possibility, and we continue to water those seeds, yet there are many more available for you in the same way to communicate. And as you allow yourself to feel the love and support that is offered to you by these beings, you may come to know them in more pronounced ways. Trust in your perceptions, and trust that a love-based perspective creates more enjoyable perceptions. The more enjoyable what you perceive, the more resonant and joyful expression of all that is that you generate in each and every moment, in each and every nanosecond. And we are always there, as are many others. So we do thank you very deeply. Please invite us and invite the others who wish to interact with you, to meet you personally, and to allow you to live, to embody what you have come to know and believe. We wish you the most pleasant of nights.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Wow. I hope you guys